Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another cast by Stitch StarCraft. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys another Southeast Asian versus World game. We have xGKingLight over here, xGKingLight from Australia, from Team Xeria, and xGKing is just a tag for Xeria Gaming, sponsored by Kingston. And yeah, he posted a huge replay pack of his little journey throughout throughout the Korean server, and today he's going to be playing against somebody I'm actually not sure of. His name is FXOGrand, and he might be a Smurf. Maybe it's Leenock or something. I have no idea, but maybe Grand is a player. I have no idea. I've never heard of him. But I wouldn't be surprised if he is, and so let's get this match underway. This is going to be a very cool game. It is, of course, at Coral Compound, one of the newer maps, but it's been there for pretty much a season or two, so it's still looking pretty good for players who are playing on it. And Light has been playing on Korea for like the past 2 or 3 seasons, and he's still doing that. So yeah, he's been playing on Korea for quite a while, and he's starting to adapt to the style in Korea. And I mean, of course, playing on Korean ladder is so much different. I mean, we've heard a lot of players share, especially foreigners, share the same expression that laddering on Korea is much more stressful. So yeah, it's great to see that C players are starting to make this switch as well, and not just North American / European players, because Southeast Asia, I mean, it is pretty, I mean, unless you're living in Australia, it is pretty near Korea, and I mean, in terms of culture wise, it can be quite similar on both sides. And it looks like back into the game, xGKingLight putting down that pylon just to block the expansion from coming down, and it looks like he doesn't want the third to get down as well, so he's going to build a pylon over here, or he's just going to block it a while. Nope, he just decides to build a pylon, and now Grand cannot expand on either basis, and he's just going to let it build. It's fine. We see a lot of Protoss players do it nowadays, where they build this initial pylon, and it really puts the Zerg behind, because they, first of all, cannot get an expansion, and if they did not go for a 14 pull with gas, their tech is also going to be delayed, and they're going to be floating on minerals like right now, and they'll have nothing to do with that mineral except for making Zerglings. But Zerglings won't be useful because Protoss by now would be able to put out a gateway and some cannons, so especially on this map, you can wall it off pretty easily. And I just want to take this time while we just the pylon did get taken out, and looks like Grand's gonna move down over here into the third to take that pylon out as well. Upcoming this Sunday, on Mother's Day for us in Asia, we do have a huge tournament that my team and I will be hosting. This tournament is sponsored by PokerStrategy.com. Very big sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. They really support us. They fund us with tournament cash, and we're also able to bring back to the community of Southeast Asia. So do support us. We have a huge tournament coming down. It's going to be the Poker Strategy Eve Cup. It does feature $600 US in the cash pool, so it's going to be really nice tournament over here. It's going to be the first one we've hosted, and I'll be casting along with our special guest Flamga. And I hope you guys do check it out. And if you have a Southeast Asian account that's Masters or above, do sign up, because it's a 128 player tournament, and as of today, which is Sunday, we are just starting it. And for you North American players, it is on the Saturday night and starts at 11 p.m. so do check that out. I will link it in the description box below, and it would be great if I would see some of you guys in the tournament over there. And let's just take a look back at the game. We do see Grand finally getting his expansions, and now just starting his gas. Hasn't started a single gas yet. He is just wanting to play really greedy, because he needs to saturate his bases right now while he knows that the Protoss is trying to tech up. But once again, when the Protoss tech kicks in, it's going to be quite a rush for Zerg players, and especially on this map, it kind of sometimes gets hard to defend a Protoss because there's just so many openings to your bases, and you're not just defending one ramp, you're defending multiple ramps, and they can pretty much go anywhere. And we do have the first initial Stalker. The Stalker can do quite some damage, I would say, because the Stalker right now does have the speed advantage over everything that the Zerg has, since there is no Speedling or Roaches or anything. Just right now, Grand is starting on the gas, and we can probably expect a Roach Warren. Yes, we do have Roach Warren and Evolution Chamber. Very, very natural build against pretty much any Protoss 2-based timings these days, because it's just always going to have a lot of gateway units, and you need the Roaches to deal with it. Whether it's Stargate, you do need Queens, but then back to my point, there's just going to be so many gateway units that you'll definitely need Roaches to deal with it. Looks like xGKingLight is going to have a pretty nice engagement. Oh, the Zealot getting a bit down on shields, but a lot of Lings coming into support. I'm not sure if Light should really commit to this. He is doing fairly well, but oh, this Zealot trying to micro the Zealot, and wow, Light might even risk his Stalker over here, but luckily for him, oh, okay, he loses one Zealot, and oh wow, even the Stalker. So Grand, not too bad of a trade-off, even though losing quite a lot of Lings over there. It was still pretty nice because the Zealot and the Stalker itself is already 250 minerals. So that's going to look really good for him, and he knows that there's this proxy pylon, so he knows something's coming, and he's got Lings over here. He really needs to deny that proxy. A lot of Zealots, 5 Zealots coming into here, into the third, but Roaches are popping, and it should be looking fine for Grand right now. The Zerg is trying to engage, drones even being pulled in here. Proxy does get cleaned up, and it looks like this push will get cleaned up, just a matter of time. Looks like the King's gonna put himself as a tanker over here, and it's gonna get cleaned up. And that was a pretty good, decent cleanup for Grand, except the feeling that he's really floating on minerals right now. He's got 1,000 banked up. Was just focusing too much on the defense that he didn't even get the gas, and he does need the gas right now. He just got the lair, getting Roach speed and Roach attack right now, and so far, yeah, it looks like both players are once again just going to sit back and go into the meta game. I mean, Light, that first initial push doesn't mean anything. I mean, of course, it wasn't to his favor, but it won't you know, cripple him way too much in this game to come back. Now let's take a look at what Light has coming down. He has a robotics facility and a Twilight Council, and this pretty much means Blink Stalker and Immortals and Sentries. And this build is very, very, very strong. I mean, against what Grand has right now, if you think about it, Lings and Roaches, yeah, it would do perfectly, because as long as you have decent force fields, you can trap the Lings from surrounding you, and the Roaches, of course, will get decimated by this Immortal. But once again, Grand does have the lair attack, so he can switch to Hydras, and he can switch to whatever he needs to deal with this. Hydras is a really nice choice because their DPS is so good, and they just destroy gateway units, plus their extra range. It really makes them very useful. But the thing is, Grand is only mining off 3 gas, which really makes me feel uneasy. I mean, he's got the lair attack, and he should really be looking forward to, you know, attacking up to something other than Lings and Roaches. But once again, it feels like right now what Grand wants to do is he wants to max out on 3 base, and this is another very common build that we see from Zerg players in ZvP today, because a lot of players like to go sit on 3 base, max out, and just push it right at the Protoss, and this can be very strong. Because if you take a look at the supply right now, Grand is already on a 30 supply lead, and he'll just keep going up, because the thing is, he's got 3 bases completely mining, and yeah, he's got Queens over there to inject the larva. So yeah, there's nothing stopping him from maxing out at this stage. He's just not choosing to tech to anything else. But here he comes. Looks like Grand wants to engage this, but there's a lot of sentries. He needs to be really careful about the sentries. It's probably the scariest unit here, and here comes the engagement, and let's take a look at, oh, that's a very nice surround over on the Stalkers, and Blink is finished. There's only 2 Immortals, and right now Grand needs to focus down these Immortals. He's actually burrowing the Roaches, I think it's a well, this is going to be really bad since the Observer's kicking in now, and the Immortals are still up, and he just did not spend his units wise enough. I think right now, actually, Light can hold this off as Signs also burrowed some units inside the main of Light, and oh wow, these probes are pretty low, but Light actually holding that off pretty convincingly. Absolutely nice force fields over there, not allowing the roaches. The thing is, not only do you need to surround by the Speedlings, but you also need the roaches to come in to the Protoss army, because they are the ones that kill the units, and the Speedlings are really just buffers to stop the Protoss army from moving and to not give them a bigger surface area against your own army. But yeah, Grant still has this one roach and a few lings over here inside the main, and once again another engagement coming in. Really nice force fields cutting in the roaches. Zealous to tank this as well. 2 Immortals not even getting touched, and looks like once again Light is just going to clean this up very convincingly. And right now it's slowly looking really bad for Grand, because Grand is in a position where, you know what, I can't tech switch right now. He absolutely cannot tech switch because he's sitting on 3 base. He's starting to get infestors, but the thing is, he's committed so much to this, and if he starts tech switching, he won't have any army to deal with what Light has, and Light is building up a very big army right now. He holds a 32 supply lead, so basically the tables just turned right now, and Grand is behind in upgrades, Grand is behind in tech, and yeah, Grand is even behind in workers. So this is starting to look pretty bad for Light, and Light knows exactly what's going on. That army is nothing to Light. He can crush this, absolutely crush this with no problem. He probably wouldn't even need a force field, but it would probably help. But then, yeah, he definitely, wow, check that out. Lights on. Yeah, he's still holding the 20 supply lead, and all Grand is making is just Speedlings, but upgrading the attack for roaches, which is, I'm not really agreeing with that, but yeah, this many Speedlings, it can be good and it can be bad. But with this many sentries out coming down for Light, it just doesn't seem like it's a very viable build, because you know what, Light has so much army right now. But here we go, and this might be the game deciding engagement, as this is so much investment for both of these players. A nice fungal over there, but the fungals won't wipe out too much with the Guardian Shield on, and everything getting wiped out. None of the Speedlings even getting close to surrounding the Protoss army, and wow, this is a really nice engagement coming in for Light. And yeah, it looks like he barely lost any units in that engagement at all, and now he's just gonna push for it. I mean, at this position, he's looking so good. He can possibly end the game right now, because his army has a 60 supply lead, and there's just nothing that Grand can really do. He's got 8 infestors coming on the way, but I mean, even if you funnel growth all these units, they're probably gonna wipe out, you know, the Zerglings and the roaches before anything happens. And once again, you're going to be with units that really don't attack, which are infestors, and without energy, everybody knows infestors are, you know, helpless pretty much. And here comes Light once again, going down to the 4th right now. He wants to take this out, and if he secures this win, secures this base down, it's pretty much going to be super one-sided, because Light has been on 3 bases almost as long as the Zerg has. So yeah, he's just going to pull so far ahead, and once again we have Zerglings on the high ground and low ground. Just not enough supply coming in for Grand right now. He's got 8 infestors, but these infestors won't be doing way too much. Oh, actually right now he really needs to fungal, because all these units are clumped up, and it's a perfect position for him to do some damage. Leaking the roaches a bit, and not fungling and running with the Speedlings when the force fields are down. Not a smart idea, but finally landing the fungals. And wow, that blink was beautiful. And yeah, the offensive blink definitely going to destroy and decimate the entire Zerg army. And it looks like this will be GG for Grand. And looks like Light pulls this off against FXOGrand on the Korean ladder. And I hope you guys like this cast, and please follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and support my team. And if you're a Southeast Asian player and you're a Masters and above, and you haven't signed up for our tournament, then you have to go ahead and do that. And I'll see you guys next time.